I notice one learner is present in my online session today, and I request you to write in your comment box if you hear me clearly, as well as you see the page and see my picture clearly. I request the learners who are now present in my session. I don't know the name of the students who are now in my class, but I request you to write in the comment box to write if you see the content page and me, as well as if you hear me clearly. And if you say yes, I will start my class. Please write comment. Of course, yes, the sound is clear and we can see clearly. Thank you very much, Sanjida Afreen. Thank you very much. And today, so far, I think my class is very, very important for you. Because in my last class, I could not finish my class on non-finite verbs. Today, I have taken the last part, participle, into consideration to discuss in today's class session. So, 1 or 2 minutes yet to be on the right time. As many as Alauddin Imam, Sanjida Afreen, Miftahul Islam Joy, all of you are welcome to my class, and I must request you to give full attention so that you can understand my class clearly, because all the things that I will hold on my discussion are quite important for you. And number 4, 4 students are present. I think you see the content page clearly. Rafiqul Islam, thank you very much. Rafiqul Islam, we have almost reached our time. It is almost 12 o'clock. Sanjida Freen, see clearly what? See clearly me. And my content page is very much important. You please try to write in your comment box about the content page. What is about the content page? That means the page on which the lessons are written for you. Please tell. Please write. Do you watch the content page? That means the page on which I have typed the lesson for today's class. Anyway, I think the content page is also clear to you. So I am now going to my class because I don't have much time to delay. I think you can see that today's class lesson is on participle and sentence structure. Because participle actually contributes to the development of the sentence. In fact, participle is a modifier. When we consider this participle as a non-finite verb, actually participles can be used in 2 ways. Number 1, we can use participles as a non-finite verbs. And in the second way, we can use a participle as a part of the conjugated tense verb of the sentence. We know we use the ing form of the verb, which is of course a participle in the continuous tenses, present for continuous, past continuous, all continuous tenses. We use the ing form of the verbs to make continuous tense. So it's a conjugated form of the verb because it contributes to frame continuous tense. But we today don't take this case into consideration. We want to take the issue of participle as a non-finite verb. And in fact, when a participle is used as a non-finite verb, it is of course a modifier. Participles are modifiers in practical purpose. So in order to make the ideas very clear for you, I have taken a very easy and common verb. I think you can see take, the beginning word take, and then you see a colon, taking, taken, having taken. You understand that all these three forms, taking, taken, having taken, are used in framing continuous tense, present perfect tense, and perfect tense, having taken perfect tense, and taken perfect tense, taking continuous tense. Anyway, today we will actually hold our discussion only on the issue of non-finite verb, that means participle as non-finite verb or the modifier. So I think your idea is clear that a participle is a word that is taken from or that comes from a verb, but it acts like an adjective when it is used as a participle. You see the sentences. I saw the boy taking a wrong route to go to school. Try to understand. I saw the boy, it's a complete sentence. I saw the boy, it's a complete sentence. But taking a wrong route to go to school, it's an addition, extra information. And this extra information begins with the word taking. And this taking is not a part of a conjugated tense verb. The tense of the sentence actually expressed in saw, and the sentence is in past indefinite tense. It's very much clear. The sentence is in past indefinite tense, and this indefinite past indefinite tense is clear from the word saw, because the present form of the verb saw is see, saw, seen. So taking a wrong route to go to school, it's an extension, modifier. Actually, this phrase, long phrase, the phrase modifies the noun boy. This phrase adds some more ideas, information about the boy, about the noun boy, because the boy actually took a wrong route to go to school. This is the information, extra additional information. But this is non-essential for the structure of the sentence. I saw the boy, I saw the boy. These four words are essential for the structure of the sentence. And this is complete. But taking a route to go to school, it's an extra part of the sentence, additional part of the sentence that begins with the verb taking, and this is not a conjugated verb. This is not a part of the tense verb. So this is present participle, and this is a present participle phrase. And here, acts as a modifier and post modifier, you see, because this modifier is placed after the noun boy. So it's a post modifier anyway. And I have also given the title in addition, sentence structure. You try to understand that this is a simple sentence, but we can make it a complex one. But how? I saw the boy who took a wrong route to go to school. Who took a wrong route to go to school. Anyway, I have given another explanation to make your understanding more clear. You see, the boy was taking a wrong route to go to school. This is the information. The boy was taking a wrong route to go to school, and I saw this. So the boy was taking a wrong route to go to school. It's a simple sentence, but we can make it complex. How? I saw the boy who took a wrong route to go to school. And the next sentence you see, to save life, the ant got onto the leaf fallen from the tree. A leaf fallen from the tree. Yes, to save life, the ant got onto the leaf. Yes, it's a complete sentence, no problem. But fallen from the tree gives an extra additional information. And this is also modifying the noun leaf. And you see here, fallen, the base form of the verb is fall, fail, fallen. So it's a participial phrase, past participial phrase. It's a perfect past participle phrase, and this is past participle. Fallen is also fail past participle. This is past participle. And the main information, or the what does the sentence actually mean, actually is expressed in the next sentence. The leaf had fallen from the tree. This is the actual information of the sentence. So we can write here with the main or important information in the way the leaf had fallen from the tree. But to save life, the ant got on the leaf which was fallen from the tree. In this way, you can make the sentence a complex one. I think you can understand, because this is important for changing sentences, transformation of sentences. When we do transformations of sentences, we will need this type of knowledge. Number C, you see, having taken all the issues into consideration. Having taken all the issues into consideration. So this is, you see, perfect participle, as you know. This is perfect participle. This is perfect participle. This is perfect participle. Having taken all the issues into consideration, the perfect participle begins with having and then past participle of the verb. Having plus past participle of the verb actually constitutes perfect participle. We can solve the crisis. We can solve. One word is here. We can solve the crisis. We can solve the crisis of democracy. So this is perfect participle. So we have got present participle, past participle, and then perfect participle. So you can understand another more thing. In case of present participle, you see the two activities expressed in the sentence or given in the sentence or put in the sentence occur or take place simultaneously. At the same time, I saw the boy, and at the same time, the boy was taking a wrong route. So taking a wrong route and saw, the activities actually took place at the same time. But the ant got onto the leaf fallen from the tree. You try to understand that in case of past participle and perfect participle, the two activities do not take place at the same time. One activity follows the other. First, the leaf fallen from the tree, and then the ant got on it. So the two activities take place one after another. It's very important to notice. And then comes perfect participle. You also notice that herein also you can notice having taken all the issues into consideration. So first we have to take all the issues into consideration, then the solve will come. So the activity of solving the issue takes place after the activity of having taken all the issues and into consideration. I think you have got the point from here. Anyway, now there is a definition. A participle is a word formed from a verb. I've already told you. A participle is a word formed from a verb and used as an adjective and often to reduce relative clauses, but not always. It is not that adjectives will reduce relative clause, it's not, but most of the times. Anyway, you will see how many sentences can be transformed from simple to complex. Then we'll find out the issue of this crisis. Anyway, participle can be three types, you know: present participle, past participle, perfect participle, as I have already discussed. Present participle, action in progress. I have already told you. In case of present participle, the activity or the action continues. And the form of present participle is, you know, verb plus ing. Two actions take place simultaneously or at the same time. Example: the first hot air balloon, it's fact, it's true. It took place many years ago. The first hot air balloon carrying a sheep, a duck, and a rooster was launched in 1783. You see the essential part of the sentence or the structure of the sentence actually is constituted by this portion. The first hot air balloon was launched in 1783. But the verbs or the parts of the sentence carrying a sheep, a duck, and a rooster, all these actually you see modifying the noun air balloon or the balloon. And it's carrying, so it is present participle and it's a present participle phrase and modifying the noun balloon. And it's a simple sentence. I have already marked. It's a simple sentence. But we can make it complex. The first hot air balloon which was carrying a sheep, a duck, and a rooster was launched. Was launched in 1783. It's a complex sentence. You see here, we can also begin the sentence, start the sentence with the participle phrase. We can bring the participle phrase in the beginning. How? Carrying a sheep, a duck, and a rooster, it's a participial phrase comes first. And then the sentence begins. The first hot air balloon was launched in 1783. Sentence B: in your lifetime, you will spend around 38 days brushing your teeth. It's fact. If we consider the whole time of our life, we can calculate that we will spend as many as 38 days only on brushing. So it's a fact. In your lifetime, you will spend around 38 days brushing your teeth. It's a simple sentence. But we can make it complex. In a lifetime, you will spend around 38 days as you will brush your teeth lifelong. Of course, I have added some new words to make the meaning clear. And that is why I have written here, you see, that used as an adjective and often to reduce relative clauses, but not to always. That means we cannot uh, reduce relative clauses all the time. Sometimes there may be exceptions. And here I have to add some new words to make the sentence meaningful or keep the meaning intact. Anyway, you see here there are some more examples of the present participle. I have lived in Moscow for 10 years working as a teacher. I've learned a lot of new English words living in the UK. Living in the UK. Children often go swimming in summer. Present participle. Present participle modifies the verb go. They sometimes come home crying from school. They sometimes come home crying from school. They spend their fortune making a bet. You know, it's Joa. He wastes a lot of time doing nothing. So these are the examples. I think you can keep all these sentences in mind for your broader, more understanding. Thank you very much. And now come to past participle. As we have already come to be familiar with this participle, past participle, and we also know that there are two types of verbs according to the formation of different tenses from the verbs. There are regular verbs and irregular verbs. And regular verbs are always changed into past and past participle by adding ed. When we change the base form of a regular verb, we add ed to make it past and past participle. But in case of irregular verb, there are different forms like do, did, done, irregular, come, came, come, show, showed, shown. So there are many verbs like this. They are all irregular verbs. So thank you very much. Anyway, in case of past participle, action completed in passive form. Action is actually completed in passive form. It's important to notice how. Try to understand. The baby tired from a long day of play. The baby tired from a long day of play, cried without end. And I have made it a complex one. The baby who was tired from a long day of play cried without end. Actually, the essential part of the sentence is the baby cried without end. And who was tired from a long day of play actually is modifying the noun baby. And who was, I have added who was to make it complex. And if we cut off who was, tired will come near to the noun baby and there will be a comma. And then it will become a past participle. Anyway, I think you have understood the point. Now, sentence second. Built in 1937, the participle begins the sentence, comes in the beginning, no problem. Built in 1937, the Golden Gate Bridge is still considered the most beautiful bridge in the world. It's a simple sentence. built in 1937. It's a simple sentence. Yes, the focus should be given on the issue that as the bridge was built in 1937, because the bridge was built in 1937, it is still considered the most beautiful bridge in the world. In this way, we can make it complex. And I have already made it complex here, you see. As the Golden Bridge was built in 1937, it is still considered the most beautiful bridge in the world. And then being plus past participle, it's very, very significant to understand when we use being plus past participle. It shows action in progress, though past, but it shows action in progress simultaneously with another action, but it is in passive. Being built for quite a long time. That means at the time of building the bridge, taking a long time. Please try to understand this very phrase. Being past participle phrase. Being built for quite a long, that means the bridge took a long, the building, the bridge took quite a long time to complete. And that is why during this long time, the bridge attracted a lot of investment and workforce. So the activity of building the bridge and the activity of attracting actually took place at the same time or simultaneously. It's important to understand. So when we use this type of phrases, when we use say being plus past participle, we have to understand that the two activities of the sentence actually occur or take place simultaneously at the same time. And now complex. As the bridge was built for quite a long time, it attracted a lot of investment and workforce. Being late, another example of being plus. This is adverb. Late is here adverb, not verb. Being late, I felt embarrassed. Simple. As I was late. This being means as I was late. As I was late, I felt embarrassed. Complex sentence. Being a social being. You see here, being a noun phrase, being an adverb. But here, being plus past participle. So when there is being plus past participle, the two activities actually take place at the same time. Being late, it's a reason why I was late. Being a social being, why I am a social being. Being young, because I was young. So being a social being, I think I have a lot of responsibilities for the society. Simple. But complex how? As I am a social being, I think I have a lot of responsibilities for the society. Being young, yes, I made a lot of mistakes. Being young, I made a lot of mistakes. It's a simple sentence, but we can make it complex. How? As I was young. As I was young, because there is a past participle verb made. So but because I was young, I made a lot of mistakes. And then comes down to perfect participle. As you have already known that perfect participle is formed by having plus past participle. Example, active. This can be active as well as passive. And there are two actions completed by the same people. It's very important. Two actions, two activities complete by the same people. Having finished the job, I decided to take a break. So after the job, I've decided to take a break. One action follows another. Here, the finishing of the job will take place first, and then after the finish, the action of taking break will take place. Having written the test, I handed it to the teacher. Having written the test, that means having written the answer of the test. Having written the test means that having written the answer of the test exam questions, I handed it to the teacher. Having tried to coffee, having tried the coffee, having tried the coffee, that means having tasted the coffee, having taken taste of the coffee, I don't recommend it. That means the coffee is not up to the mark. The coffee is bad. Having spoken to the chief, I wrote the report. So you have all got the form and the content of the perfect participle from the sentences. And all the sentences are active. Now I am coming down how we can make it passive. Passive action performed by someone and complete before another one. When it is passive, action performed by someone and complete before another one. Having been finished timely and properly. We don't know. Having been who finished. We don't know who finished the having been finished timely and properly. The bridge became an ideal for the construction firms. Became an ideal, but we don't know who finished. Having been finished timely and properly, but we don't know who finished the bridge. But after the finish, the bridge became an ideal for the construction. It's passive form. Having been finished, I'm sorry. So having been finished, in time, the bridge was opened for the people on May 27, 1937. It is, of course, a Golden Bridge, Golden Gate Bridge. Having been written in pencil, the letter was difficult to read. We don't know who wrote the letter. Having been explained before, but we don't know who explained. The rule did not present any difficulty. Having been explained before, we don't know who explained the letter before, but the rule did not present any difficulty. That means the rule written was quite understandable, easy to understand. And then misplaced or dangling participle. Sometimes we fail to write, or we fail to frame, or fail to place right participle in the right place. So when there are problems in placing, making, in arranging, or the placing, or arranging the participles, it become dangling, and it is misplaced, of course. That means the misplaced, and the dangling participles are the same. When a participle is misplaced, it becomes dangling. This participle starts a sentence but does not refer to the subject. This participle starts, that means this participle is placed in the beginning of a sentence, but it does not refer to the subject. But the rule says a participle or participle phrase should be placed as close as possible to the noun or pronoun that it modifies. It's very important to understand. You notice here, walking on the street, I saw a bird flying from a tall tree. Walking on the street, that means while I was walking on the street, I saw a bird flying from a tall tree. So here, who was walking? I was walking. This very phrase refers to the subject I. But here you see the next sentence. Notice. Walking on the street, a bird was seen flying from a tall tree. So the subject of the sentence is bird. Was the bird walking on the street? Of course not. Walking on the street, a bird was seen. Who saw the bird? No mention here. Who was walking? No mention. So it's a dangling participle. It's a participle misplaced, not placed in the right way, in the right place. And then, wearing a face mask, the frog entered the store. Yes, it's a cartoon. It's a cartoon. Sometimes you see in cartoon, a frog wears a face mask. So I have taken the example from a cartoon picture. Wearing a face mask, the frog entered the store. So wearing a face mask refers to the subject, the frog. It's okay. But here, the next sentence says, wearing a face mask, the store let the frog enter. You see here, the participial phrase wearing a face mask refers to the store. Does the store wear a face mask? Of course not. So here is the misplaced. You see here the participial phrase is here misplaced, not rightly placed. So it is a dangling participle and also misplaced. Delighted by the flowers of spring, I picked up some and brought them inside. Delighted by some flowers of spring. So I was delighted. It's very much clear that was delighted, I was delighted. But the next sentence, what does say? Delighted by the flowers of spring, some were picked up. Some, who is some? So here, the phrase, participial phrase, delighted by the flowers of spring, does not refer to the subject some. So it's a dangling participle and is not placed in the right way. So thank you very much. And now I want to go to the comment box to see what you have written. Can someone help me? Can someone help me? Can someone help me? But you haven't written clearly. I must ask any other problem, please, learners who are now present in my class, online class. Please write in your comment box about your problems. Any problems you face in understanding or in getting the class, please write the necessary comments. comment about your problems. Is there any problem you are facing? Please write. Please write. I am asking all of you who are now present in the online class. Please write in the comment box any problems you face in the discussion. Now I want to sum up my discussions. But before to sum up, Tasnia, Adrita, Tasnia, Adrita written. Can someone help me? But for what? Why do you need help? Why and when and where you need help? Please tell. Please write. No, sir. All clear. Anyway, now I'm coming. I'm going back to. So today we have considered two very important things. One is participle, the types of participles, and how we can use participles in the sentences, and also the roles of participles to change sentences from complex to simple. And it is also very much clear that when there is a participle in a simple sentence, we can easily make it complex one. There is a very deep and very close relationship between complex and simple sentences in case there are participle phrases in the simple sentence. Number one, number two, you see there are some particular issues that I have already touched and discussed. You see here, participles are formed from verbs. So there must be properties of verbs in the participles. It works like an adjective, but it has also some properties, some characteristics of verbs. As a result, when we use a participle, if the participle has been made from a object verb, that means anyway, the participle also takes object. It also is also modified by adverb or by some other words, just like a verb. That means all the characteristics, most of the characteristics that a verb has got in the sentence are applicable to a participle because it is formed from a verb. And number two, in case of perfect participle, we have seen that we can also use participle in the passive voice. But when we use a participle in the passive voice, we don't know the person or the people who actually do the job. Actually, there are two activities. One activities actually take place before the other, but the activities are not done by the same person. It's important to understand. And it is about dangling participle. Dangling participle is nothing but a misplaced participle or a wrongly placed participle or wrongly framed participle. There is a very important rule to follow that participle is a modifier. As the rule says, a modifier must be placed as close as it is possible to the noun or the pronoun that it modifies. Modifier, a modifier must be placed just immediately after or before the word noun or pronoun. So it's very important to understand. So when this rule is broken, actually the participle becomes dangling. So dangling participle is not very much important to know. The important factor is that we have to know, we have to practice how to write sentences with participles, with say infinitives, with gerunds, with all kinds of modifiers in the right way, in the correct way, so that we can write correct sentences with right proper context. It's important. But to, of course, to know these things a little bit important, but not much more important than to know how to write sentences correctly, how to put words, phrases in the sentences properly. It's very, very, very important. So thank you very much. And I tell you, today or tomorrow, I will send these contents to you in PDF form with the previous class. That means the whole of the non-finite verbs. That means gerund, infinitives, and participle. All the context, all the contents with all the illustrations, all the examples, classifications, everything will go to even PDF form for your better understanding, for your download and understanding. So thank you very much for attending my class, and I must invite you to watch my next class. Anyway, I also want to tell you that so far I have been informed next month in the beginning, in the beginning or in the first week, you will be given a class test. You will be given class test. And I can tell you that class test on English will be, of course, held like all other classes online. And I will frame questions, MCQ questions, so that you don't need to write answers. Just give tick. You will need to give a tick mark or write the number A, B, C, D, etc. on your comment box. You can write the answer on your comment box. Of course, the way of sending the answers can be changed as per the instructions of the authorities. Yet I haven't been informed of the ways in which you can send your answers. But so far I understand, you will have to send the answers online, not using any papers or manually. Everything will be online. I think things will be very much easy for you, and I advise you to, if it is possible for you to collect computer. It's easier to write answers, to see the contents, to understand the things we are giving to you. We're trying to make understand become very much easier if your screen is quite bigger than the mobile phone. Mobile phone screen is quite small, so you can't actually notice, or you can't have the entire picture of our contents clearly. But if it is computers, say either desktop or laptop, you can, I think, understand the whole things clearly and easily. So I must advise you to collect computers, a laptop or a desktop. It will be better for you if you can collect laptop, because we don't know how far we'll have to be dependent on online classes. Anyway, thank you very much again, and till the next class, we are waiting for another class and for another program. So thank you very much. Okay.